this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to set up an intercompany trade relationship between two legal entities. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a relationship between company USMF, as you can see I'm logged in now, and company USP2. As company USMF, we are going to sell to USP2. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is set up the legal entity USP2 as a customer in the USMF legal entity. So first, I'll go ahead and go to Accounts Receivable from clicking on the navigation pane, and I'll go to All Customers. On the All Customers page, I'm going to click New in the Action pane, and we're going to create the USP2 customer. So on this dialog, I'm going to go ahead and assign a new account number. I'll just go ahead and type one in for now. The next thing we'll do is type in a name. We'll put in USP2. And for the customer group, we're going to go ahead and specify the customer group for intercompany. You can see here that a match has already been found. This is incredibly useful so that you're not creating customers that might be duplicates in Dynamics 365 Finance. This is not a duplicate in this case, so I'm just going to go ahead and click Cancel. I'll go ahead and specify the customer group as intercompany customers. And I could go ahead and fill in some additional information if I needed to. I'll just go ahead and click Save. Now, the next thing that we're going to want to do is set up a vendor account for USMF in the USP2 company. So I'll go ahead and switch over to USP2 by clicking on the legal entity up at the top of the screen. I can click from the drop down here, or if I know the company name, I could just type it, but here we are, USP2. I'm going to go over to the vendor screen now. So I'm going to click on the navigation pane. I'll go to Accounts Payable module and I'll click on All Vendors. I'll go ahead and click New in the Action pane. And we'll go ahead and give this a vendor account number. So I might call this one. Go ahead and put in a name. You can see here, as I'm typing in, we can actually see any vendors that we already have named here. And I'm going to go ahead and type in Intercompany just for the sake of this demo. Next, we'll want to go ahead and specify the vendor group. We'll go ahead and click our drop down, and I'm going to select Other Vendors. You could create a vendor group for intercompany vendors if you wish to do so. I'll go ahead and select Other Vendors, and then I'll go ahead and click Save in the Action pane. So now I need to set up the relationship between my vendor and customer for intercompany. So we can do that by clicking on the General tab in the Action pane. Under the Setup group, I'll click on Intercompany. Here on the Trading Relationship tab in the Intercompany page, we can see here the purchase relations. So we have my company, which is USP2. That's as I'm currently logged in. This is the vendor account we just set up. We can see the customer company, which we need to change that to USMF. And now we need to select that customer that we created here for USP2. I'll go ahead and click Save. The next thing that we're going to want to make sure is to make this active. So I'm going to go ahead and click this toggle to say yes for active, and I'll click Save. We could switch over to USMF really quick just to see the relationship on the USMF company now that is set up for our USP2 customer. So I'll go ahead and switch back over to USMF. We'll go to our customers in Accounts Receivable. We'll then want to navigate to that USP2 customer that we set up. I'll select the record. I'll then go to the General tab and I'll select Intercompany. And you can see we have that set up over here already, which is carrying over from the USP2 company. Now that we have our intercompany trades set up between USP2 and USMF, we can begin setting up some additional parameters for this relationship. For instance, we'll probably want to set up sales order policies since we are the selling side of this intercompany relationship. So here we can set up sales order numbering. So we can define a number sequence code. We can specify the original number, or we could put the company plus the original number, which is something that's really useful for these intercompany relationships. We can also set things like the payment journal that we're going to be using for this relationship. We can also decide if we want to post the journal automatically. We also have some other options such as intercompany customer invoice posting, as well as sales order prices. Do we allow price and discount searching? Do you want to allow price edits and allow discount edits? We also have intercompany sales orders and intercompany purchase orders. So do you want to have the customer information on the header, the RMA number on the header, as well as batch numbers and serial numbers on the lines? You can also set up sales value mapping as well. So here we can specify the mode of delivery code for this relationship, as well as delivery terms, charges, reason return codes, your disposition code for intercompany sales value mapping, as well as agreements. Additionally, you can set up sales agreements policies. So do you want to allow setting on hold or effective? Do you want to allow editing of the validity period, as well as intercompany sales agreement pricing, allowing that price edit or discount edits? Let's now switch over to USP2. And let's go and view the vendor setup under USP2. So here I was brought to all customers. I'm going to navigate to accounts payable. I'll go to all vendors and I will find the USMF vendor that I set up, which is this very first record here. What's really nice is when I go to intercompany under the vendor, all of those sales order policies that I specified over in USMF have come over. So I specified the sales order numbering and the payment journal, and any other setup that I set up under the customer side of things or the sales side of things under USMF have transferred over. I can then set up my purchase order policies under USP2 now. So for things like direct delivery, do we want to print the packing slip automatically? We also have intercompany purchase orders for direct delivery as well. Sales allocation, intercompany purchase order prices. Do you want to allow price edit, discount edits, and so on? We can also set up the purchase value mapping here as well. So our codes for mode of delivery, deliveries, term and charges, and so on, as well as the purchase agreement policy. So are we going to allow price edit and discount edit for intercompany purchase agreement prices?